Hi, everyone. How's it going?
We are
I am
live.
so excited. We are live. We are live. And I have a very special guest. Oh, I think I need to move over here. I have a very special
I'm over
guest and dear friend, Michael Burnoff, with me today. Hey, Michael, how's it going?
here. I'm excited, Allison. I'm super excited we finally got our schedules to match up and be here, which is super
I
excited to share with
know,
everybody.
an act of God, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Or consistency. What makes it in business? You asked. I wanted to. I texted back, and then busy lives, busy schedules, and boom,
I
we
know.
made it happen.
I've been told I'm relentless.
I think it takes that in this world, doesn't it? Especially last year. I mean, relentless or out of business.
It's true. That's a great title of a book or something like that. Relentless or
Relentless or it's all over. Yes, relentless or it's all over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know, like this. Yeah.
All right. So, hi, everyone. We are talking today about how to make your business goals, your business success non-negotiable in 2021. And meaning that whatever you decide is going to happen that you're committed to, how do you actually make sure 100% that it happens? And I want to just introduce you to Michael Burnoff. If we haven't met, my name is Allison Maslan, and I've been a business owner for 35 plus years, and run several businesses. Love business, love what you as a business owner are doing out in the world, and I'm committed to making the journey just a little bit easier for you. And so we're going to give you some tools today. We know that you have a big mission. We know you want to help a lot of people. We know you want to make a lot more money in your business, and it absolutely can happen. So we're going to share some of those tools with you today. Michael Burnoff and I have been friends for, I don't know, 6 or 7.
About 6 years now. I think it's 7 years right now.
Yeah, and he's just the expert on persuasion and influence. He has spoken at umpteen of my events. Our clients, our community absolutely loves him. And you are really an expert at a lot of things. I mean, you're an expert at sales. You're an expert at personal development, but you're also really great at helping people just break through those barriers, because the truth is we're the one that's in the way of our success. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because when you say it, and it's interesting when somebody says something nice about you, and everybody should get an intro at one point in their life, because you're like, really, I do all that? You look back and you realize what you've come from and what you've created. I think everybody deserves an intro at one point, even if you don't speak on stage. So what's interesting when you say that is you mentioned sales and influence, and a lot of business owners are really good at selling and influencing other people. That's how you get good at business. You make sales, you make money, which is ultra important. But it's the same skill that you can used a little differently, to influence another person, to influence yourself, to play at a higher level, to be more consistent, to get more of what it is you want. So once you get what gets others ticking or gets you ticking, you got to realize you're a human, they're a human, we're doing the same thing. So whenever you talk about like a company like Amazon, and they've made it like we all just use them because that's what we do, they've created consistency in our lives. So they've mastered the art of that. So the same thing of like, how do you get a customer to create consistency? How do you get your workout to be consistent? How do you get your cold calling? Because that still works these days. Phones do work. And if you pick it up, It's shocking. You can make a lot of money if you're willing to do it.
So competition on the phone either, as you do in an email.
When the whole last year happened, we're just going to call last year the unique year of our lives, right?
For 1 second, Michael, can we just, for you guys that are listening right now, can you introduce yourself? Can you say
I'd love
hi?
That.
We're like otherwise it's like.
I just thought I was on FaceTime with you and we were going to talk and they were going to listen. Like Clubhouse.
So I would love for you guys just to say hi. Come on and introduce yourself.
Even say the name of your business.
I didn't say the name of my business.
No. They can say the name of their business. I said.
Okay. Yeah, please say the name of your business and where you're tuning in from. Anyway, you were talking about, Michael, like making things consistent so that they become a regular part of your life.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Because if you took a look at like human beings, the biggest challenge we have is that we've got these things we want. Yeah, and then there's what we do, and we're good at being consistent. Like nobody's got a consistency issue. Everybody's got a great consistency issue. The question is, what are you consistent doing? Like, are you consistent playing small or consistent playing big? Most businesses, if I looked at your bank account, you're very consistent. You make about the same amount of money every year. You're consistent. You're just not consistent on getting what you want. And that's the big shift that we need to sell ourselves on. That's the exciting part. So we got some people jumping on from Jersey too, I see, which is great. My old town.
Yeah. So Anu, thank you for joining us. And well, the thing about am I getting feedback?
You sound great to me. You can ask some of the people online. Yeah.
Okay. I think that when you're looking at your revenue and your profits at the end of the year, we're not wanting that consistency. That's the one thing that we're wanting to actually change each year, but for the better. And so, here we are, it's a new year. And what you and I both know is that when there's massive change that happens, people get scared.
Yep.
And they pull back.
Yep.
When you and I know that this is the window, this is the time to lean in and capitalize on that opportunity. And I love when you talk about things being non-negotiable. So if you really have a dream and you are ready to scale your business and you're so certain, like you just so want it so badly, but there's something in your mind that goes, well, yeah, I want this, but can you just talk about that a little bit and how you get out of your own way?
Yeah. So a lot of us take bad advice, and I want to get it right off the bat and talk about bad advice. I had parents growing up, and they were well-meaning people, and they always told me, if you want something in life, work hard, be a good person, push your way through, and you'll get there one day, which does work sometimes. But I'm going to tell you, people have been in relationships and marriages, they've been in the gym before, and they thought just pushing is going to make a difference. The two things that change our lives are going to be their actions, new actions we take, which are typically challenging for people to do long-term, or a change in perception. So one of the perceptions we have as people is that we want to do new things, but the new thing we want, we negotiate with ourselves, whether it's something we have to do or something we want to do. So the old adage of burn the boats is great, but it's kind of violent having to burn the boats. The type of non-negotiables I'm talking about is, how do you do it? Because that's what you do. Because I love your mug too. That's a great mug. I mean, can I say that again? Scale. And that's just subtle and awesome.
You like
love
that?
That's,
you like that?
That's scale your business. Subtle. Like I'm promoting something. I'm promoting someone else's product, right? I don't even know them.
Get with the program.
What's interesting about it is that anything in life that you do consistently, whether it's picking up your kids at school or covering your bills, like I watched, this is interesting. I'm going to get back to this real simply. When we started business, I'm going to love to talk about this. I'm going to mention this at your event coming up in the future. Is there are things we did when we first started in business that all of us had to remember how to do March of last year, like the struggle, the hustle, the late nights, me building an audio studio. I've sold tens of thousands of audios and albums, tens and tens of thousands of stuff. I built an audio studio in my closet, like things you wouldn't even normally do. We did at the beginning, and then later in business, you take for granted that you do it. So for me, succeeding and winning is non-negotiable. Getting to the next level sometimes, well, that might be still negotiable. Like I might win at the level that I'm at. So everybody in life has a level that is non-negotiable to them. It's picking up your kids at school if they go to school, paying your bills, paying your mortgage if you choose to live there, if your government now makes you pay it, drinking water, eating food, covering your bills. We have things we do and there are things we want. What most human beings have not figured out is, how do you learn to take the things that you want and get them to become non-negotiable? And that's the plan we've got to work on in life. It's a series of the way we communicate about it. It's a series of the actions we take, the importance we put on it, the emotions we do. And I believe a lot of people want like 7 ways to make things non-negotiable. I wish it was that easy. If it was, everybody would have 6-pack abs, incredible relationships, and be rich. There is a way to do it, but it's not instant, but the concept is instant.
Well, it's interesting when you think of it like this. Like, that your child needs to be picked up at 3 o'clock. And so you're going to be there no matter what happens. Your power goes out, your car breaks down. Like you'll find a way to get your kid at 3
o'clock. If you screw it up, you'll never do it again.
Yeah. So if you are able to apply that same thinking for whatever your goal is, then there is never an excuse. Like you just do it. So for instance, I've been working out with the same trainer for over 20 years.
Is that same guy that I met in your garage? The guy that comes by, is the same trainer
Yeah,
that you guys used to work out at the house?
No,
Okay.
that's Matt.
Okay.
This
Well,
Marcus,
forget Matt. We're not talking about Matt. Next person.
that's another trainer. Anyway, but Marcus and I just saw him yesterday. Literally like 22 years, he has been killing me in the gym. Like he's an ex-Marine. He's tough. So I have set time twice a week. I never miss. And there are days where I do not feel like doing it.
Yep.
It's brutal.
Yep.
And I can't say I'm in there going, woohoo, this is fun. But it's so automatic that I always go. Like it always. And it helps me in so many areas in my life. And so it becomes that automatic thing. And so if you're able to say, okay, here's my goals for 2021. I want to build a team. I want to add these revenue streams. We want to increase, by 30, 40%, whatever it is that your goal is. Once you shift that this is going to happen and it is non-negotiable, then you are willing to say, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this to make sure that happens.
Yep.
Right. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to, wake up at this certain time. I'm going to have brainstorming sessions with this person because I know that this is going to happen. Like I've already decided, it's already set. Now and because it's set, I'm really good with doing these things behind it to support me.
So let me add to that, because this is really interesting, and you're recording this, and I'm going to want to hear me say this later, because this is one of those things I've never said, but it's going to make a lot of sense. Everybody watching right now, either live or later, you just heard Allison's what we would call a strategy. She wakes up at 4:00 in the morning, gets out of bed, has 3 sips of coffee, pets the dog, walks the dog, gets up before everyone, whatever the strategy is. She goes and works out, and she does it for 20 years. And then everyone following her, because we live in this, I don't want to say this formula culture, where people say scaling a business has a formula, but changing your psychology is not exactly the same formula. Like step by step, Allison will show you how to scale a business, follow the steps, bing, bang, boom, you get it done. No questions asked, in her book, at her events, easy. I don't want to say easy, but simple to follow. Changing your habit around exercise. What'll happen is hundreds of thousands of you are going to watch. You're going to go, I got it. I'm going to be like Allison. I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. What Allison's not explaining to you is, you know what I mean by that. It's going to be 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever it is. Like they're going to be like, she wore a blue shirt on this day and her gold earrings. I can't see through the screen if they're gold or silver, but that's how I do it. And then the guys are getting the gold hoops and all that stuff. That's not what's making it work. What's making it work is you identify as a person in 2 areas of life that are important. You identify a person that is of her word. What I mean by that is when you say you're going to do it to you or to others, you do it. I've known you for 7 years. I will never say that's wrong. I even felt bad when I was a minute early clicking in. I said 5 minutes. I've just let Allison down. So you're a woman of your word. You do what you say you're going to do. Very important. Number 2 is you identify as a healthy person that puts health first, i.e. your homeopathic background. Okay. So what most people don't recognize is you identify as a business owner that makes what you make, that does what you do, that wants what it is you want. We don't yet identify. So I'll give you an example for myself. I identify as a healthy person. I know that I have to trick myself. So what I did, this is crazy, Allison, what we're doing right now. And I'm about to throw it out there to my community this week. It's everything to do with business, everything to do with life. I decided on the 7th of year, I'm going to do 1 push-up. That's it. 1. It was so hard to do 1 push-up because I wanted to do 10. I wanted to be an overachiever. I did 1. You know what I did the next day? 2. You know what I did the next day? You know what I did today? 21. Now I added 21 push-ups outside of my workout, plus half the amount of sit-ups. What's coming around the corner is 40 a day, 60 a day. I'm going to do 36,000 push-ups this year. Okay. The reason I'm bringing this up is I'm changing my identity. I'm mentioning it to you, all of you right now. I'm mentioning it to me. I got my team involved. My daughter knows about it. I know about it. And even if I don't want to do it, it's becoming non-negotiable. It's the thing I do before I get in the shower. So what I'm getting at and why I'm bringing this up to all of you is it is a change in psychology we have to be after. if you want to make something non-negotiable, it's not about waking up at a certain time or getting a trainer. It has to become what you do and who you are. Allison identifies as a mother who picks up her kid that said she was going to be as good, if not a better mother than her mom. That kid will get picked up. As a business owner, how do you identify with your growth in your business, not your current reality? So I want to throw that out. That's a next level thinking.
Oh, I love that stuff, So I want to talk a little bit about where I go in my head as far as stepping up to that next level. I think this is a really cool conversation.
Keith wants to get in on the push-ups right there. Keith.
I want to just say hi to Ruth, Keith, Indira, Darren is here, Ebna, Dr. Bill Freeman. We got, just want to say hi to everybody. Virginia's here, Anu, and glad you all are here. Let us know in the comments any questions that you have, anything that you're resonating here with what Michael and I are sharing. We're just going to be on for a little bit today. And then, also just want to mention that you're speaking at our event, Level Up Live. And I want to talk about this higher level thinking, but I do want to say something because this goes along with it. This is the 10th year, Michael, of this event.
Wow.
10 years. So, when I first did this event, like if I would have thought of committing to 10 years of leading this event, that probably would have sent me over the edge, back a decade ago. That was enough for me to go, wow, I'm doing a big event like this. Was scary for me that first time to take that big leap. And then once I did it, I realized, wow, we're helping so many people. This is incredible. And here we are 10 years later and have helped thousands of business owners. So Michael is going to be speaking at Level Up Live. And if you have not checked out the event, you literally leave with a plan to scale your business in 2021. So we'll put the link there. You can check it out. And it is next week. It's next week.
That's crazy.
So, but anyway, we'll get into that a little bit more because I would love for you to share your experience at these events. But this idea of what I do, I trick my brain is what I do. Because I know that you will attract, number one, what you think about. And number two, you will attract at the level of how you show up in the world.
Yep.
So if I show up in the world of, I have this dream, but I just don't know if it's going to work out. And believe me, I've been there, but over time, you do have some level of confidence. You've been running your business for a while. You know that the capacity, that you make a difference. But are you really showing up on a confidence level and energetically? And I don't mean being arrogant. That has nothing to do with it. But you have to own. You have to own what you're offering in the world. You have to own your value. And when you see yourself at that level, maybe even before you have reached that level, you will start to attract the people in your life, the team members, the customers, that really resonate with that energy, right? Like they're operating on that same vibe. And I just think that is, it feels nebulous. It feels very esoteric, but it's not. It becomes extremely tangible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And it's like the challenge of that is I love it because you attract more of what you are, the things you think about. Like you build the market you want based on who you are. You build the customers, you build the team, you build everything based on what's going on internally and externally inside of your body. It sounds odd, but deep down, every business owner that's succeeding is either doing it unconsciously or knows they're doing it. Everyone I've ever met succeeded. Now, it's interesting because I've been to your events now. We first met in October of 15, I believe it was. Yes, October 15. So it's been almost 7 years. I can't do very good quick math, 6 years. And what's interesting about that is every event that I go to of yours, you find in the room, there's a slew of different types of people. everyone is successful at one level or another, meaning that they're successful at being in it for a while and they're doing well. They're successful at being in it a short time and doing really well. They've been in a really long time and they're examples for everybody else in the room. So everybody is doing incredibly well. The ones that are less stressed, the ones that are getting ahead the quickest, following your advice, are owning who they are. They are in business not to prove a point that I can have a business and I'm going to be my own boss, but have a really, really tough job. They're in business to grow something and they're excited about growing it. They're thrilled about making it happen. They've gotten past that stage. This is what's exciting after years of attending a similar event and seeing people again and again, now virtually, right? And live, I get to talk and we get to connect. I get to find out easily that the ones that are really making the magic happen, A, they're listening to you, but B, the ones that are really making the magic happening, they're following the simple formula. They know who they are. They've switched the gear up here and it's what it is that they do. Because here's the thing at the end of the day, all the hard work in the world will never, never outdo your current desire to be who it is you currently are. So we need to, as people, step up our game. So we do
say that again, because that was so brilliant.
Okay. All of the hard work in the world will never override or help us overcome who it is we are currently being. I'll put it like that. So you can work hard and push hard and hire new people and push and push and push and burn out in 90 days or 9 years. Yeah. But you don't override your natural tendency to be who it is that you currently are. So here's the thing that changes things. There's really 3 things to create things non-negotiable. Because non-negotiable means you've got a new standard. That's all it is. Like, you shouldn't be working on your business. You should be working on your standard for your business. What is my business's standard? Like, how high do I play? What do we do here? When your standard changes, your business changes. So if you looked at it as a wall, I talk about this a lot, the psychology of like, what the hell that thing you're running into, right? There's 3 ways to get over it. One is have the courage to ask for help. And that's where events come in. The courage to say, I can't do it alone. Every alcoholic eventually says, I need help. Every parent that is struggling to prove to the other parent, if they're in another relationship, I need help, right? Or to their kid, I need help. Number 2 is to build a ladder. And building a ladder is building a set of skills that take time to build. Number 3, to really get yourself to the next level, and this is really, really powerful, is to outgrow the wall and to grow bigger than it and then step out of it. And that's really what scaling is growing out of your little baby, cute little business you got and building the one you're capable of building and being full version you. Because my statement for all of you is, how great would this year be if you just a little bit more had great days? Not all the time, but if you had great days 5 times a week instead of twice a week, or 3 times a week instead of once a week, or 5 times a month versus once a month, everything in your life would change. So it's a different standard for yourself.
Said, how are you doing? And it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm all right.
I put a video out the other day. I'm doing it right is a lie. It's lying.
Yeah. But I want to go back to the wall thing, because I feel like that's such a great analogy, especially for business owners that has been in business for a while. And let me know, for those of you listening, if you relate to anything that Michael and I are sharing, or if you have any specific questions. Carl, thanks for joining us from Dubai. So what happens is that you get, you're out of the gate, you get some decent traction in your business. So Michael, let me know if you relate to this. You get some decent traction, like you're like, whoa, we're doing well. And even this last year, if you made a quick pivot, you're like, whoa, we got a new market here. We're following the demand. But there is a point where you hit a wall of growth. And you just can't get over it. And so the tendency in our mind is, I'm just going to work harder. I'm going to put more hours in. I really am going to be focusing on business development, or we're going to hire more people, whatever it is. And you do start growing, but you're exhausted. Like you have nothing left and you're out of bandwidth. And so it's not about working harder. It really is like stepping into this higher version of yourself, and it is creative strategy. How do you put the things in place that are going to replicate you, and so that you can multiply at such a higher level, and you're able to reach so many more people. And because you're reaching so many more people, you're changing their lives and your profits go way up. You can scale on the revenue side and you can scale on the team side. And at the same time, you have to step up you have to step up mentally, like what Michael is saying. Otherwise, you're going to sabotage it because there's that part of you that goes, oh, I don't really deserve this, or this can't really happen. And that's why it's so critical to get the support, follow a formula that works.
Yeah, I'll tell you that I just watch a lot of people get burned out. I did it for years. You push and push and push and think that's gonna make a difference. I mean, the formula, what I love about what you do, Allison, the formula concept is scaling your business is something that's very, very hard to see from the inside. And I even have people that help us within our company. Like, I can't see everything, and you can't see it because it's yours. It's your baby. It's your thing. And like, the natural tendency of human beings is fight or flight. And as business owners, we don't flight. We don't flight at all. We fight. It's why we're business owners. Other people, they flight, they leave, right? We don't leave. We can't afford to leave. That's why I ask everyone, how was last year? Almost everybody I know it's a fighter. It's a great year. They're embarrassed to tell you. Last year went well. I worked the hardest I ever worked in my life because we fight. The problem is we can only fight for so long. And if you want to change the fight, you got to have a new fight. And the new fight has to be fighting off the old way of thinking, using that same energy. I said something yesterday. It was really interesting on one of my calls. I said, a lot of times in business, we think we need to work hard. And we do need to be hardworking people, but we don't need to make it hard. Meaning, like, we work to make things hard. And because we think, look at Allison, she works hard. So I work to make it hard versus working hard. And the difference between that is, if you keep working hard, that's a good thing. If you work to make it hard, that's asinine. And I'm going to tell you, that's the opposite of scaling. Because if you think about the wall, Allison, never thought about this, kind of scaling over the wall. That's really what we're doing. It's like we're getting over it, right? I know you cover that, but that's what's in our way is this wall. We've got to scale. We got to scale over it.
Top of the wall and jump and then go, right? Like you really want to have that support system and those foundations so that you're able to not just like get to the wall and sort of roll over. You want to be able to soar.
Yep.
And you've got to,
you don't want to be dead when you get there.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, you and I have both been there. Obviously, we didn't die. We're here. But in those early days of business, that's what I did. I was doing everything. I I wasn't sleeping, raising my daughter when she was little. And it was just, even though I loved what I did, by the end of it, I hated what I did. Like it wasn't even a business anymore. It was a glorified job. And so this is why I'm so passionate. And I know you get this, Michael. This is why I'm so passionate. There's no reason that you as a business owner need to struggle out there. It's doing the same way. And I know you talk about this a lot, Michael, it's such a habit. Like, I love what you've said before. You've shared this before, is the reason you get into business is one way of thinking. I need to survive. I need to, pay my bills. Whatever it is, the reason that you got into business, that's great. And it gets you here. But that same level of thinking is not going to get you here.
Yep.
It's just, you have to step into a whole different version of yourself.
I always go back to health as an example, because if you talk to business people about business, they glaze over. So I go straight to health, which other people have a challenge with. So what's going to get you to the gym after being overweight is one thing. You're overweight, you're embarrassed, you go to the gym. You're motivated, but then you lose weight, you feel good, and you lost your motivation. So then you got to gain the weight back. So it's ridiculous. So we need to elevate what our motivation is, isn't it? So you get in business to prove a point. You get in business for financial freedom. You get in business to be your own boss. Great. Then you got all three of those things. It's been a year, 2 or 3. You're in year 4. You need a new version of motivation. And then you go online, Google, how do I get motivated? And it's like, have a charity, have this. If that moves you, do it. But you might just want to look in the mirror and go, you know what? I want to be an example to other business owners, or, you know what? I want to have extra money if people need it. I want to be able to give back. I want to teach people about capitalism. That's one of the big things for me right now. Is I really love free economies and capitalism. I love the idea of being a business owner, entrepreneurship. So I want to be available to help entrepreneurs, because I would love it if no one ever had to do in their life what they don't want to do again, because they could be an entrepreneur. So I want to be an example of, he's doing it, I can do it. That's one of the reasons I take a minute to go live to share with you guys.
Yeah, I love being a business owner too. I've, been doing it so long, I can't imagine otherwise. And I do feel that business owners are the change makers of the world. Over half of our economy is dependent on small business owners. And the other thing too is sometimes we get so rote and into the behaviors or the way we show up every day, we forget the why and the vision. And I was just thinking about last night as I'm working on the content and so forth for the event with Walt Disney, when he was trying to get funding for the theme parks, he got turned down 300 times. 300 times by bankers and financial experts and so forth. 300 times they said, this is never going to work. This is a really bad idea. And so for those of you that are like, well, this can, I've reached the million mark, or I've been at that 3 million mark for years. I just can't seem to get beyond it. And for those of you listening that are not at that level, you might think, oh, well, 1 to 3 million, great. But that's without all of your expenses and the hours that you're working. At the end of the day there, you're probably bringing home maybe 100,000, something like that. And so what has to happen is that you have to put that drive of connecting to your why is what is going to fuel you.
Yep.
Right. And so that you put the systems and processes in place, which we're going to teach you exactly how to do this at Level Up Live. But when you have that vision and that mission, that's something that you can't bottle up. But that is the thing that is going to excite you to get up every day, to make a difference. But if it's the vision and the mission alone, you're going to keep hitting that wall. But you take the vision and the mission and that why underneath, and you and that non-negotiable,
yep.
And you combine that with the scale strategies, forget about it. I mean, seriously, that's where the multiplication happens. And you say I'm too busy to attend the event, Allison. I really want to, but I'm so busy. That's the problem. You're going to continue to do it the same way. And we're going to be back here the next year, and you will have not wasted. You'll maybe enjoy your year. I'm not saying that, but you literally can catapult 10 years ahead when you have the roadmap and you have the support around you. I wouldn't be here I would not be here without having that support.
And I watched you, Allison, use these techniques on your business. That's interesting. Over the last 5 years, I've watched you scale with what you're doing, using your own, drinking your own medicine and, doing your own thing. It's been fascinating. I don't know if anyone's told you that yet, but I've been secretly watching you use the techniques that you're teaching, even prior to the book coming out, even prior to anything else, and watching your business scale and the way you're leveling up everything you're doing. So I just got to applaud you for that. It's phenomenal to watch. For those of you watching, I'm going to give you an analogy real quick of the Walt Disney thing. You want to post on Facebook. You really want to make a video and you think about it, but what if they don't like it? What if I make a mistake? I don't mean political post. I mean a business post, right? Or an ad or something you're going to do, but you don't want to make a mistake. But at the beginning, you would have tried everything: flyers on cars, knocking on doors, did whatever. You've got this good formula, where you win most of the time and your predictability, right? To change anything, we've got to do something different. So what happens is, allow yourself to go, you know what? I'm going to put something out there. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll delete it. But at least you're doing something different. The side benefit of attending and going to Level Up Live, go to the website, just the fact that you would go to the page and consider it is something different. Doing several different days of your life, 3 different days, 4 different days, take the Sunday for yourself to digest the stuff you learned. Taking those few days, not even have to leave your house, turn on your camera, close the doors, go to your office, puts you in a different position. So here's the deal. Let's pretend you didn't listen to anything. Let's just say you ignored all the great information, the incredible speakers, the billionaire that talks. Let's just say you ignored all that. Let's say you don't hear a thing that I tell you that's going to give you sales and money in your business. Allison's scaling techniques has brought hundreds of millions of dollars to companies. Let's pretend none of that happens. The sheer fact that you would stop doing what you're doing for a few days and have the confidence to do it and put yourself in the right environment with hundreds of other incredible people, even if you put earplugs in and know that they're there, renews your confidence, renews your enthusiasm, gets your excitement up. But if you actually did take an earplug out and listen to half of it and you screwed up really bad and your business went up 5, 6, 7, 10%, happiness, better quality of life, money, that's what events do. I've been doing this since 2003. I've been in the event world. I get $0 for telling you to attend Allison's event. I love entrepreneurs. I know that if we as entrepreneurs don't grow our businesses, make our lives easier, be example for the next generations, we are going to have a screwed up world. So I work harder than I need to because I love my children and I want their world to be incredible. And I believe entrepreneurs are going to do that. So that is my take on the event. Ignore it. Don't even pretend you're there. You'll love it. It's exciting. It's great. The material will change your life. But if you pretend you're not even interested, the fact that you would turn everything off for 3 days, I guarantee you'll get 5 new ideas and you're going to message me back and you're not going to want to tell me you're right, Michael, but you're going to say, Michael, yeah, you were right. I was there and I got this little notepad off to the side. It wasn't something Allison said. It wasn't something Billy said. It wasn't something Michael said. It wasn't something that Shailene said. And forgive me if I missed anybody. It wasn't anything they said. I got a new idea and I did it. And God, it worked. You can have full credit for that at work. That's great. It's all you. You did it. So I'm just going to tell you.
We've seen so many. Let's just go down the list of all the people over the years that their lives have. So Jesse Malinowski, he just texted me, and he has 500. His revenue went up last year 500%. He has over 200 members now in his subscription program. This is. It's just, we see this over and over and over again. This is we're all about the action and we're all about the results. This isn't for you to just rah.
If I bring up Jesse real quick, this is funny because I met Jesse in 2016 at the first one. He was MC, right? But then in the back on the breaks,
he's our MC. He didn't even.
He's taking notes about building his own business. And then we became friends. I gave him a contact last year. Helped him in a huge way. So he's at the event taking notes in between working and he got gazupled and trazillioned his business. What if you actually were there the whole time and paid pure attention? Amazing.
I know. Well, we just had the same thing happen with this guy, Nico, who was running our virtual event.
Love Nico.
Same thing too. So it's just being around that. And if you have one good idea. One good idea that, there's just so many. And we've got Naveen Jain, who's had $2 billion companies.
That's why I said billion. I love Naveen.
Yeah. Just so incredibly inspiring. We have Billy Jean, who just rocks the house in marketing. Of course, Michael Burnoff. We have, I don't know, this dude that helps people, I don't know, reach their commit. He helps them do push-ups. That's what he does. And Shailene Johnson, just the lineup in itself. But the difference of these events. We have a journey we're taking you through. So the end of the event, you have a plan for 2021 in your revenue streams, your marketing, your sales, your team, your time management. It is a very, very well thought out process we're taking you through. And we have hundreds of business owners that are going to be attending virtually from around the world. We have a full stage where, in a hotel, we have speakers on the stage. It is screens 360. It's like you're there. Michael is flying in.
Yep.
But you don't even have to leave your living room. It's just, normally they'd be booking a flight and booking a hotel and all of that. So it's we make it super, super easy for you to change your life. And that's what Michael and I are both all about. That's why we get along so well. We speak the same language. And, we have attendees that have come to this event. Do you know we have attendees that have been to this event 8 years in a row?
Wow. I can't even say wow. Of course.
Well, because it's their planning event of the year. They're like, this is our team. We bring our team. We take 3 days. This is our team event, and we literally plan out the year. So they leave with that. You take 3 days to save umpteen days.
Yep.
and get to where you want to go so much faster. So anyway,
I love it. I love that you do it in January. It's good for me too. It's good for me because while I'm there, it reminds me of what I need to do next.
I know. It ups everybody's game, and I'm just so honored to be connected to so many incredible business owners. Our mentoring team now, we have 14 mentors on the team that are helping all of you guys, and they have scaled very successful companies, purchased companies, sold companies, had thousands of employees. So this definitely is that event to level up. It is for you, the business owner this is not a startup event. It's not for startups to figure out what you want to do. Plenty of events for that. This is for you, the established business owner that's been in business for a while. You've got some employees and you've hit that wall and you're like, God, I'm tired. I know that what I have is great. I know I can make a difference. I just need that leg up over that wall.
And you'll get it. I mean, again, if you want to spend the time, we could sit here for another 3 hours and we could list achievement, result, review, result. But the biggest thing missing from any set of results that you have or reviews is the new person, which I'm excited about, Allison, is seeing somebody that's watching this right now become that person that in 2022, and we're doing this again, we're talking about this and go, remember Jill, remember Susie, remember Bill. They got on some crazy Facebook Live. They saw a video. They showed up at the event. And look how well they're doing now. That's what I'm excited about, your review of your life after learning these techniques and secrets. So Allison did the homework, so you don't have to. Put it that way.
Well, this has been so fun. So hopefully you all will join us. Go to Level Up Live event.
Is the link right there?
The link is in the comments. I put it there. Keith, who's on our team, also posted it. Right there, levelupliveevent.com. It is in a week from today. And, we are going to be closing our doors within a few days. So you want to hurry and grab your seat. I know the price is going up again. And also, we didn't even mention all the people that they're going to meet. Oh, my gosh. And to be able to brainstorm so you don't have to do this alone. But anyway, we can't wait to see you there. We're going to have a blast, and you want to wake up every day, like even let's say 5 out of the 7 days, like Michael said, saying, you know what? I feel great today. I love my life. Yep. I mean, that's the most amazing feeling. I wake up I'm a night owl. I'm lying in bed going, oh my God, I just love what I'm doing. I'm so happy. And that's what we want for you. That's what we want for you. So thanks, Darren. Hope you're doing great. Good to see you here. Anyway, we're going to head off, and thanks for spending some time with us today. I hope that you join us next week. I hope you're inspired. Go do some push-ups, and we'll see you next week.
See you on Zoom.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I got to find the button. Okay, here we go. Did I hit it?
Not yet.
Okay.